Get off the sidelines and take control of your financial future at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.
Matt Justice here for Tackle Trading to continue our indicator discussion that we've been doing here this week. This time we're going to be looking at moving averages and how to utilize moving averages. Moving averages there's two different varieties of moving averages. You have a simple moving average, which is simply an average closing price over a given time frame, and then you have what's considered an exponential moving average, which is a weighted moving average, which gives greater credence to day one, day two, day three than it does, later on in the length of the moving average. So what we're kind of looking at here on our screen is JetBlue, and we're looking at two different moving averages. The first moving average right here, that's the blue one. That is the simple moving average, the 20-day moving average. The red one here is the 50-day moving average. So we're looking at these two different moving averages, and how we're going to use them is a couple. Number one, they can act as support and resistance catalyst. Number two, they can, which basically means they're a support level. Number two, there's buy zone, sell zones, depending on, the two rising moving averages. Number three, they can act as a crossover. They can help you identify the trend. There's just a lot of different ways you can use a moving average. And so when we're looking at JetBlue right here, first and foremost, as you can see, it kind of gets into that buy zone. The red moving average, which is the 50-day, and the blue moving average, which is the 20-day, it gets down into that zone, pops back up, gets down into that zone, pops back up, and that's a pretty standard buyer zone. It's the bull area between two rising moving averages. So when you have the 20 and the 50-day moving average rising up with the stock retracing in between those two numbers, that's going to act as a buy zone. As you can see here, it acts as a support zone there and there as well. The crossover, when one moving average crosses the other one, for example, right here, the blue line, the faster of the two, crosses up above the red line, that moving average then, as you can see, the stock's price starts going up, 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 up. So you can use it as a crossover system. If you don't know that much about trend analysis, you can also just kind of look at the trend here and say, you know what, the blue line's going up, that's the short-term trend. The red line's going up, that's the longer-term trend. Both of those are rising, so I'm going to use that as a moving average. Now, to add a moving average to your chart in Thinkorswim, you just have to click this button. It looks like a little oil can. Click that button and type in moving average daily SMA. Let's add that study, and then let's click on the description. Now let's add 200 day. We're going to add the 200-day moving average. Let's do the width of that level, and you can change it to whatever color you like. So let's change it to a yellow color, and we'll add 3, apply, put OK, and apply. And as you can see here, we got the yellow moving average, which is the fighter zone. And what that fighter zone is basically a battle between buyers and sellers. A little bit of like trench warfare. You have the buyers and the sellers out there, and they're fighting for those levels. Well, everybody knows what happens when we see that 200-day moving average go down. The buyers will give up. So as you can see, it's coming down, down, down right into that 200-day moving average. They fight for that zone right there. You see a little bit of increase in volume as they're fighting for that zone, and it pops back up. And so that's a really important zone for it. Here on Apple, two rising moving averages. Look at the price starting to slow down, pop back up. That's a buy zone for it. Look at the cross here as well. Let's look at JCI here. Right on, look at this JCI trade, upward moving in price, coming back down, hits not only the 50-day moving average, and it's not only between a rising 20 and a 50-day, it's right on that 200-day as well. Got a nice little strong buy off that level. Same thing here with Comcast, retrace back down in between a rising moving average, pop back up on that one as well. Here's a CLVS. Look at that 20-day moving average. It just hugs it on the way up. That's really simple. We put it, we just trail that stop loss up. That's a very consistent moving average on the way up right there. Here's ABC, as you can see, acting as support there, there, and there, acting as a crossover system right here. Look at the neutrality. It crosses over right there, and it doesn't look back. Just continues to rise up about 30 points since then. Same thing here on Costco and whatnot, you can use moving averages on absolutely anything. You can use it on the euro dollar pair here. As you can see, it hugs that pair right there. It gets a little overextended, retraces right into that moving average. Gets overextended, would not be shocking to see that retrace back into the moving average again. So moving averages are a very helpful way to determine trends. It's a very helpful way to understand overextended, which is just the stock, the currency, the commodity, whatever you're looking at gets too far down. Very simple way to understand where support and resistance can form. And as a new trader, they are invaluable as you're really kind of learning how to chart and patterns and trends and everything else that you're learning how to do as a trader. As a veteran trader, they're not nearly as important, but I certainly do recommend having new traders look at both in terms of a 20-day, a 50-day, and the 200-day all on your chart at the same time. Hope you enjoyed the discussion on moving averages. We'll continue the discussion next week in our indicator series. We'll look at maybe Bollinger Bands, and we'll look at some other indicators. And if you want me to analyze and show you how to utilize a specific indicator, hit us up over there at tackletrading.com, and or you can hit me up on Twitter at #MattJustice13. You can also reach me at tackletrading on Twitter as well. Until next time, enjoy the trading, make some money, and go change some lives.